Welcome, everybody. It's your girl, Delores, just the pink girl in my pink world, here on YouTube with the good brother J.News. J.News, he got a good new look now. He gonna tell the people what he thinks going on today. Tell him, J.News.
It is Sunday, July 6th. I hope those folks out there here in the good old US of A are having a very good and well off 4th of July weekend. Hopefully, everybody's enjoying themselves, their family, holding a moment of silence for those who have passed, who have given us our freedoms here in the U.S. Well, whatever freedoms we have left, and and for all intents and purposes, enjoying the beach or a cookout or a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? As it does here in the U.S. and for everybody else, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your good brother J.News back at it again here with the lovely Delores, talking all that wrestling goodness of the past week that was here on the Hit the Ropes podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the end of the show. We're going to cover 2 of the 3 shows happening next weekend for WWE. As you all know, I cover WWE. The podcast that I run, the Workhorse Wrestling Network, they cover AEW. So we just be tandeming back and forth. So there will be 4 lives happening on my channel next week. 2 of them on Saturday, 2 of them on Sunday. So as your girl is busy, it's time. Review, ladies and gentlemen. Let us get us off the stage. We always have to add ourselves back up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off with WWE Monday Night Raw 1675 on the 30th. We have WWE World Tag Team Title match, the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and JD McDonough defeating the New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods for title change. We had Rusev defeat Sheamus. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria ended in a double pin, and we had Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed defeat Penta and Sami Zayn. J.News, did you see this, and what did you think about it?
I caught the highlights of when the members of the Judgment Day won the tag belts over Kofi and Xavier Woods. It seems like a good portion of the fan base, at least the online fan base, was a bit disappointed with how the title reign and storyline with the New Day has gone ever since they did that big turn on Big E all those months ago. Folks feel like there wasn't much of a payoff and that there wasn't anything really done with the New Day outside of them winning the tag belts, but nothing necessarily that would signify this run as to being a strong one. Shouts to the Judgment Day for winning their second tag team championships. Finn Balor finally won a match. Rusev and Sheamus, 2 meaty men slapping man meat. That was that sort of a match. It seems that they are still continuing with this. I don't know if we want to call it a feud between Bayley and Lyra, but contentious competition between the 2 of them. Trying to both of them trying to go after the women's IC belt that currently Becky Lynch is holding, and I completely missed this last tag team match. But it seems that they've got Penta and Phoenix in tag team action on separate brands, but not together, which to me seems kind of dumb. But hey, that's just my personal.
It is dumb. You took the words right out of my mouth. Not that you took the words out of my mouth, but I was gonna choose violence, and I think you chose the correct version of what I should have been saying. Because I'm like, why are they not together when he initially came out to help him? And it's just been a lot. And I think that they don't understand what it is, what they have on their hands together. They see Penta as a hit. They see that Ray Phoenix is more like his presentation has been a dud. So I think that's where they're coming from. But I overall thought the show was okay. Wasn't nothing special to write home about, especially when you got a. What really disappointed me was the women because it seems like we leading up to evolution and it's not nothing going on.
That seems to be the
We'll talk.
consensus amongst fans as well, Dolores. That folks feel like the build up towards evolution has been heavily lacking, and the ladies are not getting as much promo for a PLE as other even secondary PLEs would get. And they're not getting enough storylines to build towards this event. And this event is happening, I believe, next Saturday, I want to say, or next Friday.
Sunday.
Huh?
No, Sunday.
It's
Sunday.
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 Okay.
Sunday because Saturday is the Great American Bash and the Saturday night main event, which I think is stupid. Why are we doing okay. So open conversation for people who don't know. Saturday night main event, Great American Bash and Evolution is all here in Georgia. Great American Bash ticket $300. Okay, then you had the combo of Saturday night and Evolution. Now, do anybody see why that is stupid? Why would I buy combo tickets for Saturday night's main event and Evolution, which are two different days, instead of comboing Great American Bash and Saturday night's main event, which happens on the same day at different times?
But
Make that make sense to
are
me.
the shows on are all of the shows in the same arena?
I believe so. I don't remember. I know the tickets were different, but even if they're not, you would have to have. Why would you have tickets for two different shows on two different days, comboed together for the same price that you pay for Great American Bash, which is on the same day? You could have just still comboed those the Great American Bash and Saturday Night Main Event. That would have been the same. But I think they're all on the same place, which is ridiculous. Because literally the Great American Bash, from what I'm seeing, is at 3 o'clock p.m. Saturday night main event is at 8 o'clock p.m. And then you have 8 o'clock the next day Evolution. And you got the Great American Bash and Saturday night main event essentially running into All In. This is a bad scheduling choice. They could have did this. I mean, Saturday night's main event. I understand that that's what they're gonna do, but to put the Great American Bash, a lot of those tickets are still available because the price you're paying for one show that's not comboed is the price that you pay for two shows. And one of the shows you don't know what's happening on Evolution. And Saturday night's main event, I'm hate to say it, and I've admitted I was a Goldberg kid. You know what I'm saying? Goldberg doesn't entice me to buy tickets. And when presented to a young child who loves wrestling, he's like, I'd rather go to Stars and Strikes or to some place where I can play video games other than go to a wrestling match for my birthday. That tells you something. Even I, the person who has never been to a wrestling show, saved up money to go to a wrestling show for me to realize nothing available this weekend is something I wanted to see. So WWE, you're gonna have to do a little bit better. I don't know
Isn't
if it would.
isn't the so the I guess the rumor mill has started about, but there's some factual stuff that's going on Sunday as well. Like, isn't there also a Beyonce concert on Sunday night? Like, literally, like across the street from where Evolution is taking place.
I think so. You know,
Yeah,
uh, I looked
that's
at
not a
some of
good.
Beyonce's tickets when it first came out, and I was like, um, "Is it Rent or is it Beyonce?" And I was like, "I choose Rent." And so that was out of my.
Sure, no, I understand
But
that, but at the end of the day, people. I think more people would probably end up going to a Beyonce concert than
yeah,
the ladies
Evolution.
PLE. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is that you don't really know what you're getting in on Evolutions. No story has been built. We still got a week. Maybe they can. We don't have any real knowledge of what's going on. The only show we know for the weekend that might be semi good is Great American Bash. But at 3 p.m. in Georgia, we really ain't trying to do all that. And they tickets are the price of a hotel room. So if you're gonna drive that far, most families down here when we have events like to stay close because riding the train is very stressful. People are shoving and fighting to get on the train after events. So a lot of people like to stay close. So if I'm gonna pay like let's just say $200-300 for a room, why am I paying $200-300 for a ticket to a show with my kid? Then I gotta buy food and all the rest of that. Again, that's a rent payment. So I thought it was crazy. Hey, Ten, how you doing? Uh, hey, Slim Jim Longfoot. We'll talk about him a little later. And 10, because they, 10 for the win. But we're gonna go back to the way back machine behind the closed doors. We're going to go on to the next show, which was NXT. The next day on the 1st of July, Joe Hendry defeated Wesley. Miles Bourne defeated Alexis King. Laney Reed, I pronounced her name out wrong. Defeat Thea Hill, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley. Defeated Sol Ruka and Zarya. And for the WWE NXT title #1 contendership match, Inamura defeated Jasper Troy. J.News, what did you like about that? And also, I pronounce this first name 69 ways, but right. So I know Inamura. The first part, J.News, you're going to have to help me learn.
It's Yoshiki.
Yoshiki. See, I be thinking when I
Yoshiki
say Yoshiki, I be
is
thinking the
the first
doll.
name.
You know the doll that you wrestle? That's the first thing I think about when I think about you, Yoshiki.
He escaped me this week. I don't know as to what went on and what the go-abouts were or what the happenings were this week. That they've got Joe Hendry still doing NXT stuff while he's vying for his TNA Championship match that he's got, the three-way match that he's going to end up having with Trick and Santana. I can I can surmise that Miles Bourne is now going forward without the NQCC. Good on him by defeating Lexis King, who hasn't really done, in my estimation, hasn't really done much of anything outside of him being that Cup champion on NXT. There hasn't really been much that Lexis King has done as a character on NXT. So we'll see as to how that goes. More Laney Reed on NXT this week as she continues to roll out her character. The last couple of matches I've seen Thea Hale in have been good showings for her, but not necessarily wins. So I don't necessarily know if they have plans for Thea Hale and her future in WWE. So we'll see how that turns out. Izzy Damon, Tatum Paxley are now officially a team. So that's a thing. They defeated Sol Ruka and Saruka. But there was, it seems to be that they're heading towards a Sol Ruka and Zarya inevitable split. We will see how that unfolds in the coming weeks. And yeah, Inamura's been in the crosshairs of Obafemi, so him winning here over the LFG guy makes a lot of sense.
Yes, again, No real building up, even with the packages. It just didn't seem like they don't care. If they don't care, I don't care, and we don't care together. But again, don't deter from coming to watch on Saturday and Sunday because, as you all know, we play games, we have fun. It's not just a watch along because sometimes when we watch, you, I be fighting for my own life, and I love wrestling, but I like to play games. I like to have fun. I like to get interactive. We ask questions, so it's a party. I need to start calling it a watch party because the watch along makes it sound like we just dragging along sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, me and J.News, we're gonna go back in the back, and we're gonna go on to the next show, which was SmackDown. SmackDown was on the 4th of July. As J.News said, thank everybody, 10, everybody else who has served and helped the community, also Dazzling Designs I know of, who have served our country. Also, as you all know, on my post, I made it very clear that I appreciate all those people who enjoy freedom, what they call Freedom Weekend. But I must, for my ancestors, say I wasn't free back then, so I don't know nothing about Freedom Weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Friday Night SmackDown was on the 4th, 1350 on USA Network. We had the WWE Women's Tag Team title number one contendership triple threat match where Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and defeated B-Fab, Michin, and the Secret Harvest of Apple Fire and Piper Niven. Every time I say that, I just, oh Lord, I just be laughing. Uh, 8-man tag team match, the White Sticks, Dexter Loomis, Eric Warren, Joe Gacy, and Uncle Howdy defeated Berto, Chris Sabin, Johnny Gargano, and Montez Ford. We had Andrade and Ray Phoenix defeat Fraxium of Axiom and Nathan Frazier. We had Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso defeat JC Mateo and Solo Sokoa. J-News, did you see this? Because it's one part that I absolutely love.
So to go through this match by match here, I don't know. Look, I always feel like I've been fair to Charlotte Flair over her career, but I feel like what she's been doing with Alexa Bliss in the last couple of weeks is getting to show a side of her that she's never necessarily been able to show on WWE TV, which is a more fun-loving side of Charlotte Flair, and I can appreciate that. I've never ever seen her hug a damn person in my life outside of her father. So that moment that she had, that her and Alexa had in the ring was cool to see.
She's looking real good. Like,
yeah,
she went from Barbie to like she looks more natural, and then she's got like seeing her with like a tank top and her abs showing, and her just like having like well, she had a bikini top on and her abs showing. It wasn't like, I mean, let's be honest. There was a time when she had big false chest, and now it looks more natural. And because at first, I mean, I admit in her wrestling attire, it looked like it was about to spill over and explode out. Seeing her with like a bikini top, natural body, but I'm not gonna say it's natural body, and her relaxed and just having fun. Even her social medias now, she is out there having fun. Did you see her partying up on a yacht and having a good time making TikToks with what's his name? A part of Judgment Day.
I don't know.
Uh, Finn Balor's wife.
Finn Balor's wife. Okay.
They were on there making TikToks, having fun. They called themselves, they had shirts that said onions. They were just having a good time. And that's something we don't get to see. Even in an interview recently, she talked about her divorce, her moving on, maybe getting on dating sites again, and how she's been through like different things. She's been more open and more real instead of that fake, like, oh, I'm Charlotte. Like, she had to, for a time in interviews and on social media, on different places, be this cocky a-hole we hated.
Yeah, she's definitely. It seems to be like nowadays she's definitely more relatable, and I think that's something that she's always wanted to do. From just she's always said she's always wanted to add more of herself her real self into who Charlotte is and things of that nature. And I think she's getting the opportunity to do that. So I think that's pretty cool. B-Fab and Michin keep on losing matches. I don't know how believable I'm supposed to be taking these two ladies. I'm always been a fan of Michin, aka Mia Yim, but there comes a time where it's like, is she just gonna be another member of the roster? Are they ever gonna really do anything with her? And the ladies from the Secret Harvest are still doing their thing because they're being flanked by Chelsea Green, and their act has been strong in recent months. So I can't say anything bad about those ladies and stuff like that. Though this 8-man tag was weird, just because of the consortium of players on the other team outside with Berto and Chris Sabin and Johnny Gargano and Montez Ford. So that was a clusterfuck of of a match. So the Wyatt Six was bound to win that. The best match of the night, from a pure match standpoint, was Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Fraxium. Didn't necessarily know if Andrade and Rey Fenix would have any real chemistry together, and it, obviously they did, and that match went crazy with the crowd and folks at home. And then with Big Brother Fatu and Jimmy Uso, they defeated JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. But out of all of that, even though they defeated that team, we got post-match interference from Tama. No, not from Tama, from Tongaloa and Talatanga, as they call Hikuleo now. So that feud continues there with those gentlemen and their surrounding family units. So, yeah. You're muted, Dolores, I believe.
Computer. Jacob needed a partner. Jimmy stepped up. But Jacob needed a partner after he beat the snot out of Solo in the car and had him dragging him out of the window, essentially. It was like, it's on sight. That man said, it's on sight. And Solo rolled down that window and he was like, it's on. It is on. You ain't got to worry about me. He was trying to drag him out the window. And I appreciate that. Because when you say it's on sight, I want you to mean that from the bottom of your heart. I don't care if you see me. Listen, I don't care if I catch you in the church parking lot, at the grocery store, and whatever. When it says on sight, I mean on sight. Roll your window down in traffic, you just gonna get towed up. That's it. That's what I loved about this, because it seems like Jacob Fatu, yes, he's this character, but it also seems like it fits his personality. Like, you would expect him, if he told you in real life it's on site, he catch you anywhere and it's on. And it was like Solo was just having a good time. Oh, blasting in the glory. And the next thing you know, he's getting drug out of this car out the window. And it made it worth watching, because I was like, sometimes I always feel like when it comes to bloodline stuff, they kind of running in the ground and mix and match and switching this. But it made me want to watch. But when Jimmy stepped up, it's like Jimmy came out of nowhere. Hey, Super Chat, how are you doing? It made me be like, well, Jimmy, you seem to not like him at first, but you like him now, trying to figure out where you stand with him. And so I want to see where this is going to go, because I feel like we're going to keep subtracting members from one side to go to the other side. When is everybody going to get on the same page? Because at a certain point, Solo turned against Roman because of his power and his big head. Jacob turned against Solo because of his power and his big head. Now, who is going to turn against Solo next? Or is Solo going to turn against them with his big head? It's like, at this point, I feel like it's a merry-go-round, and I'm ready to get off. But that's also what I feel about John Moxley and his crew. But, hopefully by the end of next week, I ain't never got to see that no more. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go way back in the playback. And we're gonna go on to the next show. Next show, AEW and AEW Dynamite. They had Dynamite 300, ladies and gentlemen, on the 2nd. Yes. AEW TBS title match, Mercedes Moné defeated Mina Shirakawa. We had the men's casino gauntlet #2 spot 4-way match where MJF defeated Anthony Bowens, AR Fox, and Brody King. Konosuke Takeshita and the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson defeated Bandito and the Paragon of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. We had Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay defeat La Facción Ingranable was Jalistico and the Beast Mortos. We had a non-title match where Kazuchika Okada defeated Kota Ibushi. J.News, did you see this and what did you think about it?
Yeah, I caught AEW live when it aired. Dynamite 300 was a very fun show. Started off with a banger with the ladies, Mercedes Moné and Mina Shirakawa. Did the damn thing. Mercedes defeating Mina Shirakawa and post-match putting hands on Toni Storm, who was sitting by ringside during the entire match with a very worried look on her face. Toni didn't even participate in commentary as she usually does. She just had a very worried look on her face, and she also made sure to keep to her word to Mina, not interfering in the match. But after Mercedes defeated Mina Shirakawa fair and square, Mercedes attacked Toni Storm with one of her many title belts. In the men's casino gauntlet #2 spot 4-way match was a fun match altogether. Good romp between MJF, Anthony Bowens, AR Fox, and Brody King. Everybody had a good showing. I would suspect to see these other gentlemen outside of MJF also be a part of the casino gauntlet match at some point in time. So keep that in mind when you're watching All In coming this Saturday. There's going to be three wrestling shows airing on July 12th, all at different times during the day. So there's that. Konosuke Takeshita and the Young Bucks defeated Bandito and Paragon. That match just felt like an old school PWG tag match and whatnot. So that was fun as hell. It was interesting to see the Bucks and Takeshita tagging together and how well they flowed and how good their chemistry was together. Same thing with Bandito and Paragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Your consummate pro wrestlers nowadays, just out here doing the work. Swerve and Will Ospreay versus La Facción. I honestly expected to see Roosh in this match, but I didn't get Roosh. I got more of the Beast, which is never a bad thing because I'm a big fan of Frank, but I wanted to see Roosh in this match. But I got the Beast. I got Jalistico. They did their lucha stuff. They did their spots. The match went well. And Swerve and Ospreay are going into All In on the strong side of things. I believe they announced, I think it was on this show that they announced that even though the Bucks are going to be putting up their EVP titles in the match, that they wanted to Will said he wanted to up the ante, and Will ended up saying that him and Swerve, if they lose, they would not compete or contend for the AEW World Championship for a year. So that'll be something to look at and pay attention to for that tag match coming out All In. And then a match I never thought I was going to see again, Kazuchika Okada versus Kota Ibushi. Second straight week in a row where Kota Ibushi had another strong showing, looked very capable, wrestled a very methodical and slow-paced match, but leaned into his striking abilities, flashed some of his old stuff here and there when necessary, and Okada turned it up a notch in this match because he knows that Kota Ibushi is one of those professional wrestlers that can get it out of him, and it was quite the match. So props to them for doing that. And then post match we got Kenny Omega coming in for the save because Kota Ibushi was being beat down by the Don Callis family.
The Golden Lovers are back. I don't think I've mentioned. I probably have. I absolutely love the fact that we have this all black, the blacks, uh, together, and then they just added MJF. And it's like they be up there having like these pro black like promos, and MJF be standing there like, yeah. And I'll be looking at MJF like one of these things do not fit the other. Okay. We have MJF and the blacks. Okay. I need MJF to, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll be looking at it like, huh? Yes. See, it be MJF is standing there with his little Gucci on. He got his little suit, and then you see the blacks over here in the corner, and I'm like, MJF, come on, you don't need them. Good morning, Miss Joy. How are you doing? I'm just, you, I don't know why they put him there. I mean, I know why they put him there, but I'm like, why you just can't have something for ourselves? Why you got to add MJF? You could have added, you could Leo Rush or anybody. You add MJF. Listen, I enjoy it because it's funny, but at a certain point, I'm like, after 2 weeks, I was like, are we gonna keep doing this and for how long? Now, who's gonna turn on who? Is MJF gonna turn on them or they gonna turn on him?
We'll have to wait and see. That's what this is all about. We got to wait and see who turns on who, or if there's a turn to be had. As a matter of fact, so
And
we'll
some
see.
people ask, have we had an all white group and a black person? And I said, Chris Jericho.
What with the learning tree thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he had Keith. I'm sorry. I want to call him the bounty hunter from GCW. Uh, Keith was the only one there. Everybody else, straight Caucasian. Oh, no problem, Miss Joy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. If y'all don't know Miss Joy, go check her out on links. She comes on Mondays and Thursdays. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going back in the way back. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor. I want to tell Tony Khan I appreciate you because you've been making this short and sweet. Willa Yuta defeated Alex Zane. The Spanish Announce Project and Helico and Serpentico defeated Eddie Pearl and Ricky Gibson. We had a pure rules match. Serena Deeb defeated, is it Becca or Beck? J.News might know the right way. ROH World
It's just
Becca. Okay. Yeah. I'm always confused when she does the three. It's just World Tag Team Title #1 contendership match. The Infantry of Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean defeated Top Flight of Dante and Darius Martin. Did you see any of this, J.News, and what did you think?
So I caught bits and pieces of this, as I usually do with ROH, because I am not a Honor Club member. But it is always a good day when I get to watch my good brother Zusos Alex Zane in a match, even though he had to freaking lose to Wheeler Yuta. Jesus Christ, man! I look at the end of the day. I think that Wheeler's grown on me over the years, and I think that he's doing his best character work that he's ever done in AEW. To be quite honest, with what he's been doing with the Death Riders, he just as he's a very he's a very good in-ring worker, but he hasn't had outside of that initial initiation into the BCC. Wheeler Yuta hasn't had another moment on AEW TV, so I'm just kind of waiting and seeing how that all goes. Great to see the Spanish Announce Project back together, and Helico's been one of my favorites ever since the Lucha Underground days. This is more or less of a squash match for them. It seems that they're also going to, after the title match happens after the tag team title match happens at All In, it seems like the Spanish Announce Project is going to be heading towards a feud for those tag belts in the future. Since this was a squash match, Serena Deeb hadn't been on ROH TV for a couple of weeks. Another more or less of a squash match for her over an independent women's worker, and the tag team number one contendership match between the infantry and top flight was a good showing for both teams. It seems that they're now pairing top flight with another act, which we will talk about when it comes to Collision. And the infantry is the infantry at this point. So yeah, good showing for both teams.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go back in the way back and go to the next show, which J.News has already previewed. It was AEW Collision. Ladies and gentlemen, Collision was on yesterday. Now I must admit, I watched some of it, and some of it watched me. Kevin Knight defeated Nick Wayne and Shelton Benjamin. FTR, Cash Wheeler defeated the Outrunners of Truth Magnum and Turbot Floyd. We had Mystico and the conglomeration of Hologram and Mark Briscoe defeat the Don Callis family of Hechicero, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. We had Scorpio Sky defeat Max Caster. We had Willow Nightingale defeat Viperous. We had Athena, Julia Hart, Megan Bain, and Thekla defeat Queen Amanalda and TJ of Anna J and Ty Mello, along with Thunder Rosa. Kyle Fletcher defeated Daniel Garcia. J.News, did you see this, and what did you think?
I actually got around to watching Collision this morning. I thought that the match with Kevin Knight, Nick Wayne, and Shelton Benjamin was a banger. Nick Wayne continuing to show his prowess at such a young age. Shelton Benjamin continuing to show the world that at 50 years old, he's still killing it out here. And Kevin Knight doing Kevin Knight things, man. The Jet's the homie. I can't ever say anything bad about Kevin Knight, man. He's super talented. I thought this was a hell of a three-way. And they didn't make. The only thing I fault AEW for is the following. They've updated the card for All In, and they've updated the card, at least from what I've seen. It might not have been directly from AEW, but people's belief is that we're going to get a three-way match for the tag team belts. It's going to include the Hurt Syndicate, Jet Speed, and the Patriarchy. I know that the Patriarchy wanted to vie for the tag team championships and whatnot, but they've only had one match in as a unit. They won the match, but they barely won the match. So it's interesting, but we'll see how it all goes. I think they kind of somewhat just interjected the Patriarchy into this match, while Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, Jet Speed, have been basically feuding with the Hurt Syndicate for weeks now. The FTR match versus the Outrunners was fantastic. Classic, old school tag team wrestling, put together in one of the most electrifying ways I've seen in quite some time. FTR to me is still probably the current generation's greatest tag team, and they definitely know how to put on terrific matches. And this was they did not slump with this against the Outrunners. The 6-man tag team match was fun for the most part. Yet again, I'm not too sure if Collision was just edited in a way where they didn't make any tie-ins to what was going on, or what's going on.
Collision was pre-tape because I had the results
Right.
on Thursday night, Friday. So yeah, so they had all this stuff planned out before Saturday. So it seemed like whatever. I think they recorded on Dynamite Day.
Yeah.
So they really hadn't tied stuff together.
Yeah, they didn't because they usually do a good job of editing stuff in from storyline perspectives. But they didn't do that here for the Saturday edition, because they just kind of threw in the fact that Mystico was going to be a part of the Casino Gauntlet match in at All In or whatever. Instead of tying it into the match, they just kind of put it at the end of somewhere in between during the match. Tony Schiavone said something about it. It was the return of Scorpio Sky. He defeated Max Caster with his 5-minute challenge. They got I mentioned it with the ROH when we went over ROH. The members of Top Flight The Martin brothers and Layla Gray, they came out with Scorpio Sky and Christopher Daniels. It seems that that particular grouping is going to be together now going forward. So we will see strong showing for Scorpio Sky and what was a basic squash match against Max Caster, as Max Caster continues to do this whole best wrestler alive thing and just gets beat in less than 5 minutes. It's funny. Someone said it online and I can't get it out of my head now. But with the AEW crowd specifically, it just does seem like Max Caster is more over than Anthony Bowens at this point, even with the losing gimmick. So it is what it is. Willow Nightingale taking on the lady Vipress here. She is all over the indies nowadays. She's very popular on the indies nowadays. She had a very funny moment in this particular match with Willow Nightingale and stuff like that. But it was also more of a squash match for Willow here in defeat. But I think Vipers had a good showing, so we might see her again on AEW TV somewhere down the road. And the ladies in their eight women All-Star match did the damn thing. I want to see more Thekla versus Queen Aminata. I want to see what they're gonna do with Ty J. Thunder obviously is going to be going 1-on-1 against Athena at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view come Texas weekend. And obviously we've been seeing Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford tagging together, and Sky Blue and Julia Hart as well. So those women's tag team titles, I believe, should be coming soon. And then to end the night, Kyle Fletcher and Daniel Garcia had another one of those barn burner matches. And I thought it would have just been a better thing for Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Cole to have a triple threat at All In. But they decided this to be the number one contender for the TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher ended up beating Daniel Garcia in a hell of a match, as Kyle Fletcher goes on to All In to face Adam Cole for the TNT Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did watch this. I watched me, then I ended up rewatching it and watch. So I think I'm most mad that Thunder Rosa and Queen Aminata keep taking L's everywhere. Just L, L, L. And I'm getting to get tired of it because they had or have a good following. They were getting pushes at first, and then Queen Aminata lost in ROH, and it seemed like she just been losing ever since then. And Thunder Rosa, I would assume that Britt not being there, they would push her more, but it seems like I don't know. I don't know if she's beefing with management, but they have been kicking her back in for the longest time. And so at this point, I've kind of lost interest in her. When I love her personality. I love how she's changing. She's on social media more. You get to see more of her life, what she does. You see her on Busted Open, but she's not really, they're not utilizing her, not even backstage utilizing her. And the fact that she can set up matches for women and help women out to develop better, they're not using her at all. She, at this point, sometimes I feel lately, I look at her name on the billing and feel like, okay, she's there to lose. And that's sad because I love Thunder Rosa as a wrestler and as a person. But what they're doing at this point, Thunder, when your contract up, just go somewhere else. I'm not even saying go to WWE. Go to, you can't go to TNA because TNA is WWE. You can't go to AAA because AAA is WWE. But you can go to like GCW or other things. I've seen some people change their whole careers. Listen, I don't know if you noticed, but Cora Jade has, I think it's Cora Jade, has a new name, and I've seen her wrestle this weekend, and I was like, "You doing better than you did in WWE. I need you to stay where you at." So I think sometimes people just need a new change of scenery. I even like Thunder Rosa matches that she has outside of AEW with her own company when she wrestles the other girls. I like that. So I just don't know what they're doing with her. I wish they would do better by her. Scorpio Sky, I appreciate seeing him again. Um, this whole Christopher Daniels Scorpio Sky thing, it's kind of weird, but it works for me. So That's just about it for Collision, ladies and gentlemen. Me and J.News, we already know where we're going, to the back. And we're going on to the next show, which is TNA Wrestling. We had the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay defeat TB. I'm not saying that lady name. Just like that red and yellow man, she is on my list. TB and Victoria Crawford. TNA Knockouts World Title Chain match, which was very interesting because these two women went at it hardcore. Masha Slamovich defeated Killer Kelly. We had Matt Cardona defeat Eddie Edwards. Jake something versus Mance Warner ended in a no contest. Nick Nemeth defeated Zachary Rentz. J News, did you see any of this? And what did you think about it? Because I can tell you what I thought about it.
No. I didn't. I don't watch TNA. TNA is probably the only company I don't pay any attention to.
Well, I would say the knockouts chain matches, which you would definitely go back and watch. Everything else, I could have did without. Uh, love you too, Miss Joy. Thank you. We're on to GCW. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I got my hardcore wrestling this weekend, and it started on the 4th of July. I want to say this was an absolute poop emoji show, ladies and gentlemen. See, I'm doing better. I ain't cuss nobody this time. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think I'm gonna recommend this to watch again? No. And I'm gonna tell you why, J News. It started off, I think his name was Big Vince, J News, and Big Vince did the national anthem. And this is how he did it, J News. He said, "Oh, say, can you see?" He is reading it off his phone. They were literally in somebody's backyard. I saw them fight with cars. I saw them fight with lawnmowers, four wheelers. I saw them. It was a crap show of a thing. It looked like amateur backyard wrestling, but I'm gonna tell you about the matches. We had, let's go back. YDMP, Alex Price, and Jordan Oliver defeat the backseat boys of JP Grayson and Tommy Grayson. We had Pizza Cat Jr. defeat Charlie Tiger, Claude Murrow Jr., Lucky 13, Sean Henderson, and Tony Deppen. We had Mosh Pit Mike defeat North Korean Assassin. Listen, at that point I was over the show after the first match. I was down for everything after that. I could have went without. KJ Orso, which is Fuego del Sol, defeated AK-47 Austin Keith. Okay. We had a death match of JJ Allen defeating Tarzan. Tarzan Duran is his name. Sleepy Ed. I hate that I have to say this. Sleepy Ed, J News, defeated Cocaine. Cokane. Georgia Della defeated Crazy Mike. We had a no ropes barbed wire death match where Little Skittle defeated Mr. J, which is Jay Sawyer. I need my time back for the time I wasted this morning watching this. I got up early, because I missed this show. And I think they owe me my money for my time back. But on to the next GCW show, ladies and gentlemen. We had another GCW show, The Top Play. And it was on yesterday. And I watched KJ Orso, Fuego del Sol, defeat Anthony Green, Ashley Box, Dustin Waller, Jason Drake, and TJ Crawford. One of the matches that I love on this show is the JCW title match where Masha Slamovich defeated Tony Deppen. We had Paro versus Richard Holiday, defeating Richard Holiday. We had Elena Black. If I remember right, my poor little brain was not working this morning. Elena Black is now formerly Cora Jade.
Yeah.
Yes. And she did better in this match than I've seen her on NXT. She defeated Zeta Steele. We had Joey Janela defeating Adam Priest. We had Marcus Mathers and YDMP, which is Alex Price and Jordan Oliver, defeat Billy Starks, Megan Bay, and Mayu Yamashita. Hilarious, but I like this match. Manswater defeated Man Like DeReese. Listen, J.News, if Man Like DeReese comes out singing it, and I say, you say one, I said two, and he keep doing that little corny rap, I'm gonna have to jump through the screen and elbow drop him. Charles Mason and Slade defeated One Call Manders and Effie. We had a death match where Bear Bronson defeated Beastman. And for the GCW Ultra Violent title match, we had Matt Tremont defeat Ultramanus Black. I love a good Ultra Violent match. I think last week we had one where Homeboy took shards of glass, glued them to a board, and stuck it on this man's head and then pounded it. I mean, J.News will give you good ideas when you come out. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for J.News because we are on the New Japan Report. It's time for New Japan. And we're going to start off with New Japan Soul, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so we got New Japan Soul from the 4th of July. We have the Young Lions match, time limit draw between Tatsuya Matsumoto and Zayn J as they continue their strong showing through their first tour with New Japan proper. Daiki Nagai and Katsuya Murashima defeated Masatori Yasuda and Shimokato. We had Shota Umino, Taichi, Tiger Mask, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yuji Nagata defeat House of Torture members Dick Togo, Doki, Evil, Sonata, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Hiromu Takahashi, along with Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji, defeated United Empire members Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, Jacob Austin Young, the JAY. El Desperado, Oleg Bolton, and Yua Uemura defeated TMDK's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Zack Sabre Jr. In the G1 Climax 35 A block play-in match, we had Ryohei Oiwa defeating Satoshi Kojima. B block play-in match, we had Yoshihashi defeating Chase Owens, thank the Lord. And the never open weight 6-man tag team title match, we got new champs, folks. Master Wato, Toru Yano, and Yo defeated House of Torture members Ren, Rita, Sho, and Yujiro Takahashi. And for the IWGP Global Heavyweight title match, if you go out of your way to watch any match from this particular show, it should be Gabe Kidd versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. What an emotional roller coaster that match was. Props to Gabe Kidd for continuing to want to represent New Japan Pro Wrestling in his own unique way. And him and Tana gave us something special, and I'm gonna die on that hill, man. Good showing for everybody here on the show.
I did watch this show after I saw some clips, and I was like, let me go and watch this because generally I'm beginning to learn. I had to learn from J.News, and shout out to SP3 from True Hill Heat that I was doing too much, okay? I was watching every single show early in the morning, watching the same things go over and over and over again, like something brand new was going to happen. And then now I look for clips. When I see a good show that has a couple of clips out, I go back and watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep on going with J.News, and we're going to do Tanahashi Jam.
We're going to do the Tanahashi Jam. The Tanahashi Jam took place on June 29th. Tanahashi Jam was a celebratory show that included members of the New Japan roster. We have Daiki and members of the Dragon Gate roster as well. We had Daiki Odashiba versus Katsuya Murashima that ended up in a time limit draw. So the two young lions from those particular companies. We had Hiroshi Tanahashi, Reisuke Taguchi, Shota Umino going up against Hiromu Takahashi, Leona, and Tatsumi Fujinami, the Dragon, the Legend. We then had House of Torture members Chase Owens, Evil, Ren Narita, and Yujiro Takahashi, defeating Taichi, Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Yua Uemura. Never openweight title match, we had Oleg Boltin defeating Yuji Nagata, the one and only Blue Justice. Dragon Kid from Dragon Gates, along with El Desperado, Master Wato, and Yo, defeated House of Torture members Doki, Sonata, Sho, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. For the NJPW World Television title, we had El Phantasmo, the champion, defeating Taiji Ishimori. We then had another multi-man tag match. We had former Lij member Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji teaming with Dragon Gate star, if you want to call him that, Shun Skywalker. They defeated United Empire members Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, and the JAY, Jacob Austin Young, for the IWGP World Heavyweight title match. This was a surprise to everyone, including myself. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Hiroki Goto by referee's decision. Hiroki Goto was not pinned. Hiroki Goto could not continue the match due to an arm injury.
That man was toe up.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna roll with what SP3 has been telling me the last couple of days. He took the time out of his day to text me about what had been going on, and that it's been planned all along that Zack Sabre Jr. was supposed to get the title back from Goto at some point. That it doesn't have anything to do with that Goto's loss doesn't have anything to do with Goto being injured. If that is to be believed, and if that's the narrative that we're going with, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on my opinion here. I feel like Goto's pencil should be taken away from him. I understand that Goto was hurt during this match. If Goto hadn't been hurt in this match, Goto should have never lost the championship. I have no ill will towards Zack Sabre Jr. I'm a fan of Zack Sabre Jr. But Hiroki Goto has been the hottest New Japan wrestler all year long. And for him to lose the title in this way on a show that wasn't even streamed live or televised doesn't necessarily bode well for the New Japan brand, and it really took a show away from the New Japan fan base. And then to end the night, we had Hiroshi Tanahashi tagging with the legendary Naomichi Marufuji from Noah. They defeated Kaito Kiyomiya of Noah along with his former tag team partner and current New Japan star Ryohei Oiwa.
Yes, for those who don't know, when J.News said, I'm gonna work around this without saying what I need to say. It's out there on the web. And you got to find it deep in the dark holes of the web of the internet. But when you find it, you are like, why wasn't this show televised on the pay-per-view? I mean on the app, and why did this happen like this? Like a random show that y'all just decided to put this match, and he gets hurt, but also that if it was scheduled for him to win, why would he win on a show that nobody can see unless you're a diehard wrestling fan like myself or maybe J.News, and we have to dig in the internet to find clips of the show itself, and it's not translatable. So at first I thought it was just a fake injury, but then I realized, oh no, this is real. So
yeah, it's a real injury. Unfortunately, because Goto was slated to participate on the July 4th New Japan Soul Tour show. He then was taken out due to injury, and then on that Friday, later on in the afternoon, it was then announced by Goto himself that Goto had to forfeit his spot in the G1 due to this injury. So now, with today's show, which we'll have the results for next week, they had, I think it was a 4-way elimination match to decide who would take Goto's spot in the G1. So I feel for Goto in every single way possible. For New Japan to have previously planned that his title reign should have ended on a non-televised New Japan show is beyond me. Well, I can't say non-televised, right? Because at the end of the day, the Tan Jam special was actually aired on Abema TV, or TV Asahi, which is one of the larger networks in Japan, but it wasn't streamed for international audiences in the US and the UK via New Japan World. So only the Japanese audience got to see the title change happen on their TV network. And if you're not subscribed to TV Asahi or Abema, you would have never seen that match. and or clips of it and things of that nature. And I thought that was just disappointing within itself, outside of just the decision to take the belt off of Goto, regardless of injury or not. So that's that. That's just my opinion of it and whatnot. Hopefully, Goto has a speedy recovery. Man, what a hell of a run he's had, and it definitely cemented his legacy in New Japan lore. But definitely disappointing to have him lose on a show that a lot of the fan base could not watch.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. But you already know what time it is. What time is it? Preview time, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to start off with New Japan Soul. And it's going to be a short one.
Yeah, so the New Japan Soul Tour continued today. On the 6th, we had matches of Tiger Mask versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. That was a special singles match. We then had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match, which had House of Torture members who are currently the champions, Doki and Sho, going up against Master Wato and Yo. And then we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match, which was El Desperado versus Kosei Fujita. So we'll have the results for that show for you guys next week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. On to the next show, which doesn't have any matches listed, but it is. Let me click on it. There we go. It's Wrestling Revolvers Roulette. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. You like Delores? I can kind of see that picture, and I think it looks like yes, because I copied their photo. And so I had to make it look like what it looked like, but I can't make it look like it on YouTube. So you dim the colors. But it is on the 9th on Triller TV, and it didn't have any matches listed. So we're going to move on, because I think J.News only had that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to GCW, and we're going to the show GCW Bosses of All Bosses, okay? Boss of All Bosses, sorry. It's on Triller TV on the 11th. You got some shows, ladies and gentlemen. It is JCW title match, which this girl has been killing it. We don't have a spotlight this week, but we'll have 2 next week. But she has been killing it. Masha Slamovich versus Elena Black for the JCW title match. I quit match. Sam Stackhouse versus his former friend KJ Orso, aka Fuego del Sol. We have Ricky Morton versus Mance Warner. We have Matt Cardona versus Shotzi Blackheart. We have GCW Tag Team title match YDMP, which is Alex Price and Jordan Oliver defending their championship versus Dante Leon and Ninja Mac. And for the GCW World title match, we have Effie versus Atticus Cougar. Ladies and gentlemen, House of Glory. House of Glory is Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Texas will be on Triller TV also on the 11th. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, when y'all say I'm going to be watching a lot of stuff on the weekend, I mean, pray for me, because J.News might have to drag me over the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, HOG Texas is on Triller TV on the 11th. VIP heavyweight title match. JD Griffey versus Amazing Red. HOG Cruiserweight title match. Darian Richardson versus Laredo Kid. HOG women's title match. Indy Hartwell will be defending against Hanan. That's how you pronounce it, J.News? Hanan?
High-end.
High-end. Okay. HOG heavyweight title / HOG crown jewel title match. It'll be Charles Mason versus Zilla Fatu. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to Ring of Honor, which is a subsidiary of AEW. And we're going to Supercard of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. Supercard of Honor. Ooh, went back. It's on the 11th on our ROHWrestling.com. I think they have a pre-show sometimes, and it comes on YouTube. ROH Pure Rules, Pure title match, Lee Moriarty versus Blue Panther. We have the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara versus the Infantry of Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean. ROH World title match, Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita. For the ROH Women's World Title match, we have Athena versus Thunder Rose. Ladies and gentlemen, today this thing is on one. AEW. AEW All In. They're going to be in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. 0 Hour is on YouTube. There's nothing listed at this point. AEW All In Texas, the main show is also on the 12th. But you will find that through your pay-per-view provider, ladies and gentlemen. We have the men's Casino Gauntlet match. Now, these matches were listed as of Friday. The men's Casino Gauntlet match, Mark Briscoe versus MJF versus The Field. Women's Casino Gauntlet match, Chris Statlander versus The Field. We have Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. We have AEW Continental title / AEW International title / AEW Unified title, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. We have the AEW Women's World title match, Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. And for the AEW World title Texas Death match, we have Jon Moxley versus Adam Page. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to WWE and the 3 shows that you will see on this network. We're going to preview 2. One of them we're just going to talk about. And after this show, I will load up each live so you all know to make sure to click your notifications to be ready for it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday night's main event, ladies and gentlemen, on the 12th. It will be at 8 p.m. Because we didn't have, with the shows, too many matches, I didn't make the graphics for them. So we're just going to tell you about them. Right now, it's Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. And for the WWE World Heavyweight title match, we have Gunther versus Goldberg. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how hype I am, because we are in the ATL, the Peach State, and we get to have 3 big shows. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, also on the same day is the Great American Bash, ladies and gentlemen. NXT will be having the Great American Bash on the 12th. You will find that also on Peacock. Saturday night's main event is on NBC at 8. The Great American Bash is on Peacock at 3. Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace versus the Fatal Influence of Fallon Henley and JC Jane. We have the WWE NXT Women's North American title match, Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dane. And for the WWE NXT title match, Oba Femi versus Yoshiki, right? Inamura.
That's right.
See, I learned something from J.News today. Ladies and gentlemen, the preview, you won't see any previews for this because we'll talk about it Sunday. I have a watch along at 8 p.m. on the following night. It is for Evolution, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, we have 3 shows. And I'm going to do them in order. Great American Bash is supposed to be at 3. I will make sure I lock that down. 8 p.m. is supposed to be Saturday night's main event. And then we have Evolution on Sunday. But before Evolution, you'll get me and J.News having a good time. Now, this week, we don't have any spotlight. So this is truly the end of the slides, ladies and gentlemen. Me and J.News, let's go back to the stage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to spotlight J.News. J.News gets to light himself up, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about J.News. But before we talk about J.News, we all know I have to do something before J.News comes to be up on the stage. If anybody know, raise your hand. Let me know. We're going to let ChatGPT tell J.News what about him. So ChatGPT today gave me a hood version to tell J.News. J.News, that dude for real. A real one. Solid, smart, and got hella love for the game. When it comes to wrestling commentary, he talk that talk and back it up with facts. And don't sleep on his movie reviews. He break it down like a pro. But keep it 100 every time. J.News ain't just good at what he do. He a good man too. Ain't too many like him out here. Okay? J.News, tell them about yourself.
As always, gotta appreciate Chat GPT and the I guess its level of creativity every week of doing something different in that regard. But as always, folks, appreciate y'all participating in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat today. 10, Slim Jim, Miss Joy, and everybody else out there who usually participates on a weekly basis. Appreciate y'all for participating. You can always catch me here every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Delores, talking everything about professional wrestling in the week that was here on the Hit the Ropes podcast. You can also catch me wherever the QR code is listed. There's a QR code. My QR code leads you to my link tree. My link tree has different links for the different things that I do. Hit the Ropes podcast is on there. Also, my Letterbox account. Letterbox is basically social media for movie lovers. So on there, it'll give you a rundown of all of the recent movies that I have watched, and I take the time to review the majority of the movies that I watch. So go back on there and read my reviews. The last movie that I watched was this last, I believe it was Tuesday. I went to the movies. I watched two movies actually on Tuesday. One from 2001. I went to my local, I guess you can call it, let's say, independent movie art theater, whatever the case is, here at Lincoln Center. I watched a movie called In the Mood for Love, directed by Japanese director Wong Kar-wai, which is considered a classic. And then I went to my local AMC to watch the latest A24 film called Materialists. And my reviews for both of those movies are up on my Letterbox account, which is in my link tree. You can also catch my link to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, which you guys can watch me on tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow with SP3 to basically break down what's been going on the New Japan Soul Tour the last couple of weeks, along with bits and pieces of New Japan news. And then you could also catch me on True Heel Heat this coming Friday, as I have been invited back to do the AEW All In preview. So I will be doing that, and both those shows will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. So you guys can check me out there as well. So appreciate everybody on the come up. Check out my links in my link tree and through the QR code. And as always, I will see you guys next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. J.News, thank you. Thank you, J.News, thank you. Listen, I don't know how many times y'all gonna hear me say, thank you, J.News, thank you, J.News, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any lyrics this week for me. I had nothing that strike me. Last Sunday, we went over the Lizzo Crash Out song, and then I swerved the car and I crashed out. So this week you ain't gotta worry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna start talking about myself and the peoples I know, and I'm gonna go first. And now 10 said she appreciates you too, Jay. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started. I told y'all about this man, J3GS Farms. I think I told y'all about it, right? And I said, I protest buying anything till he give me my strawberry honey, okay? And then J.News said, July 1st, you can buy the strawberry honey. And I said, that's what I want and that's what I need. And I won't buy nothing else till you give it to me. And then it came out, that got me some. Listen, it's good. I'm having to fight my family for it. Okay? I had to tell my brother, hold up, don't eat my stuff. I might have the, 2-piece and a biscuit. Okay? But I enjoy it. Go to J3GS Farms. You'll find his link to ask him about all the great things. I think he said last time peanut butter and blueberry, and listen, but I got my strawberry because I'm special. It's strawberry cream honey. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I told y'all last week, 10 had sold out. Sold out her her wonderful class. But this week, I get to tell you all, you can buy the replay. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 will be coming out with another class. So don't miss that. But if you want to catch up, download the not download, but buy the recording and watch it from day 1 and day 2. Listen, I think 10 is it 50 or is it, what is the price of it? So I can make sure I get that right. But the recording is available. Listen, I went back and watched day 1 and day 2, picked up some things. I got my little, listen, if you was there, you would have got some paperwork that would have helped you get your brand together. And listen, I did it. Worked out for me fine. Let's see what 10 said. Oh, 50. See? $50 now. Her next course, I told her knock them over the head. But you can get it for $50. Okay? So take your opportunity. Join 10's mastermind courses, but also catch up. Don't miss out on nothing. She got it where you can just be right with us on the next set of classes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Fridays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a women's closet where we come in a safe space together to talk and work through things. I really appreciate it. This 4th of July, 10 had the closet open for us, and I was able to go in there and get some information and some things that I needed and wanted to work through. And I appreciate her for all that she does for the community, especially me, because 10, me and 10 are like 4 flat tires. Y'all can't tell me she did nothing wrong. I didn't see it and I don't believe it. Okay. Thank you to Slim Jim Longfoot for coming to support me. He has been on the watch along with me, and he is very supportive of the channel, sharing us out, having a good time coming over here on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this lady? Bedazzling Designs. Her link has dropped in the channel. I got something I want to tell y'all. Tuesday, she's having a live for her birthday, okay? A 200 subscriber birthday giveaway. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say, you see that beautiful lady over there? She's a veteran, and I appreciate all that she's done for this country. But I want you to go over there and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe. She is over there doing great work. So make sure you go over there and check her out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go back to the way back. This is Miss Joy. I know y'all see me. Let me cut me off. This is Miss Joy's logo. Miss Joy is happiness and fun. She does blocks on Mondays. This week, y'all get to see her make a cup now. Listen, I want one of them cups. J.News want one of them cups. 10 want one of them cups. She got these 5 cups, J.News. I mean, she can make anything. And I'm like, I need these cups. But she's going to be making a cup. So make sure you come out and check her. Monday is 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on Thursdays, Miss Joy comes together with the community from Facebook to YouTube to sometimes TikTok. We include where we do community prayer together, ladies and gentlemen. If you come in and you got a prayer, you got a special thing you want to pray about, she is the person to come and talk to and get a good healing. Listen, between 10 and Miss Joy, I believe thugs don't cry, but this thug be crying, okay? So make sure you go in there and check it out. Please, please, please. Ladies and gentlemen, now to me. Back to me. I don't know why J.News just appeared. I was like, me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Delores of Delores Designs. I am a social media and graphics manager. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a price list, but I'm tweaking it. But this is how you can reach me. You can reach me at my email below or the phone number. You can text or call it. Scan the QR codes to go to all my social medias. If you like Delores, the QR code kind of small, sis. I got you. I got you a bigger QR code. Make sure you're here because I am taking off. I'm getting more clients, and I want to make sure your business, your channel grows, that you out here making that money, because it's enough money for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It's enough for everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I want to promote the Hit the Ropes podcast. We come on every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about all reviewing, previewing all the things that happens along with wrestling, and we kind of give you some info that you might have missed, some little social cues that you might have just been like, I didn't know that, Dolores. Listen, we're here for you. I also want to apologize because Sis comes on here every week for the past 3 weeks, maybe 4. And I say, I'm going to upload to Spotify. But life be life. Also, it was my birthday, so you got to give me a little break, okay? But sometime before July ends, I promise you. If not, J.News can come up here and cuss me out. Which I know J.News better not. J.News, let me get J.News back on the screen. J.News better not, okay? If I don't get this up, because I know we find it very important for you all to be able to listen and see us and hear us and get caught up on the things or just support us, because Spotify, that's a way for most people to also get a little stream of income in. If you got enough people who are watching and listening, please support us. Go join over there. We're on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify. Please make sure you check us out. And we'll be adding more platforms. Once we get caught up and things get the best, we'll give you a little behind the scenes, little short clips, things like that. We are incorporating more things into the Hit the Ropes podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me see the chat. I always appreciate 10 for the win. Listen. Also, if you are a believer of God, 10 will get you in, okay? She'll get you in for the win. Because sis, I had to have a good conversation with J.News after the last podcast. But as you all see, look at my J.News. Let me solo J.News out. Look at my J.News. Look at that good man, Savannah. You see that good man? He is clean shaven. He is his own son, because the older man was here last week. We got the young man here today, okay? Listen, y'all get J-News, when is your birthday coming up, right? Or has it been past?
No, I passed already.
I thought so. That's why I was like, J-News, because I know you normally shaving for your birthday. J-News is out here, ladies. Listen, you should be knocking on his door. He's smart. Wait a minute, I started to do like the color purple. He's his kind. He's so smart. Listen, ain't nobody like J-News. J-News can speak Spanish to you. He can talk New Japan to you. Listen, he's a helpful man. He helped me out every week. Listen, if y'all don't go over there and subscribe to J-News, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to knock on your door and 2-piece, okay? Because you didn't go check out J-News. You went in for the win. You didn't go check out 10. You didn't go check out Miss Joy. You didn't go check out Slim. You didn't go check out Auntie Ellen, Bedazzling Designs. You didn't go check out Miss Shirley. I don't know what you do. Because I got a team of people. A team of people that you should go check out. If you need help with movies, J-News got you. If you need help with your business, 10 got you. If you're gardening, Miss Shirley got you. If you're sewing, I got 2 people who got you. I got Miss Joy and Auntie Ellen. They'll help you from beginning to middle to end. I got somebody who rhinestones, is a vet who has life experiences. That's Bedazzling Designs. I don't know what else you need. Now, if you need something else, or you are a good person and you want something else, get on my team. Come on, just ride with me. I'll console you. Okay, J-News? Because every week we tell them what, J-News? It's getting hot in here. Baby boy, baby girl, please keep your clothes on. I ain't trying to see all that. I might have to do like Nelly do. J-News, when he had his child, he had a tour. And he said he wasn't coming back till that baby could walk or talk. because he ain't changing no diapers. And I feel that way sometimes, J.News. Sometimes I just want to make a tour of the YouTube streets. And I come back until some of these people can walk and talk. Listen, when we burn it down and it's hot, and it's getting hot in here, and I'm asking you to keep your clothes on, I got something that'll help you, J.News. Listen, J.News, last week I helped myself. And I'm going to do it again this week. Y'all hear that? That's just the good breeze of God. But, oh, wait a minute. I got something to help you, too. If I cut the lights out, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. I don't even need this no more. Because you know what? It's cool. We cool. Are you cool? And if you are, you'll definitely come back next week. And until then, me and